Yo, what's going on, Washington Commanders fans? I'm back with another video, and today I'm gonna be bringing you guys the post game stats and also my thoughts on Ron Rivera because Ron Rivera and the coaching staff. Ron Rivera is a big part of it, but also Scott Turner has to go. He's terrible too. But before I get into all of that, make sure you like and subscribe, turn on post notifications, and yeah, road to 400 subscribers. And another loss. We dropped to 1-4. This was a bad game, but it was a heartbreaking loss. So basically, I'm gonna get into the Washington passing yards. So Carson Wentz went 25 for 38, 359 yards, two touchdowns, one interception. Was sacked three times, but he probably should have been sacked more than that because the Commanders' O line is just bad, terrible. Nick Martin is bad, two bad snaps. I'm really missing Chase Roulier at this point. Please come back. Please come back because Nick Martin is terrible. He's already becoming my least favorite player. Also, uh, Andrew Norwell was bad. Penalties after penalties called on him and Lucas. Uh, so many guys were bad. I don't even know where to start. Like, I have really no words. Basically, the season was already basically over, but like this put the icing on the cake. And only positive thing coming out of this is we probably get a top pick. But even I don't like tanking. I really don't like tanking, and we already gotta come out here and bring the mock drafts at this point. It's mock draft season at this point now, and we don't deserve this as fans. We've been going through this for so long, and I feel like Dan Snyder is still not going to fire him. He's not going to pull the trigger after this season, and it's just sad. The most that's going to happen is Jack Del Rio will be gone and Scott Turner will be gone. Nothing else will probably happen. Ron Rivera, he already shows that he cares. He just sits there with his arms folded, making bad decisions. His clock management is terrible. He caused us we could have been able to run the football, but he challenged that Cam Sims drop. It was clearly a drop pass, and he goes ahead and he challenges that. Now we only have two timeouts left with 3 minutes left, and then we get down the field. We have no timeouts left now. But if he didn't challenge, we would have another timeout left, and we would have been able to at least try to attempt to run the football with Brian Robinson or Gibson up the middle. But, that option was canceled out at the 19-second mark because we had no timeouts. So they dropped back and threw the football. But even then, Scott Turner was so predictable. I don't know what those play calls were. It was terrible though. This whole game was bad. Defense was really good this today. But yeah, let me get into the Washington receiving yards. Dyami Brown had a breakout game today. 2 receptions for 105 yards, 2 touchdowns, and his longest catch was the 75-yard touchdown. He had 4 targets today. And again, Terry McLaurin with 6 targets. What is going on, man? Carson Wentz, you have to target him. Scott Turner, you are a terrible play caller. Why is Terry McLaurin only getting 6 targets? Why? And then, yeah, Carson Wentz also to be blamed for that, too, because it's like he doesn't look in his direction at all. He's not looking in his direction. Please, you've seen what happened when Terry McLaurin got the football. Please give this man the ball. No offense to Curtis Samuel, but Curtis Samuel is getting more targets than Terry McLaurin. That is crazy. That is really crazy to me, but it's whatever. I told you Terry McLaurin, he was open a lot too. Him and Bates were open a lot, and it's whatever though. Curtis Samuel has 6 receptions for 62 yards. There's nothing wrong with Curtis Samuel. If he's open, then throw it to him. But I just don't understand why your wide receiver 2 is getting more targets than Terry McLaurin. He would be one-on-one and be wide open, and he would still not throw Terry's way. It's unacceptable. And then John Bates had 3 receptions for 39 yards. JD had 5 receptions. Carson Wentz loves J.D. McKissick a lot. He loves J.D. McKissick. J.D. McKissick even had more targets than Terry McLaurin. That's crazy. He had 7 targets for 5 receptions for 37 yards. That no, please. And I like Gibson in the receiving game too. Him and J.D. McKissick in the receiving game, those two are good. So yeah, that was pretty much the offense, you know. Oh yeah, also Carson Wentz had 3 fumbles. I did not know that. I did honestly not know that. But oh yeah, the 2 fumbles were the muffed pump the muffed snaps because of Nick Martin. But I don't remember what the other one was. I have to go back and see about that one. And then the Washington defense, pretty solid. I think Cole Holcomb did pretty solid. He wasn't bad. You know, Montez Sweat was definitely good. He had 6 total tackles, 5 solos, and I think he had 2 sacks. And yeah, and he had 3 tackles for loss. So that's good. And Bobby McCain is terrible. I think D.D. Westbrook cooked him. That's how they got their last touchdown. D.D. Westbrook or whatever his name is. I don't know. It's like Westbrook. I think his name is Westbrook something, but he cooked Bobby McCain. That was terrible. Bobby McCain needs to be benched. He needs to go. And I think William Jackson also got benched today, but we'll talk about that in a couple minutes. Jamin Davis was solid, especially in coverage. He had 5 tackles, total tackles, 3 solo. He was pretty okay. James Smith Williams had a good game. He had 4 total tackles, 3 solos, and he had a sack and a tackle for loss. Kendall Fuller, I didn't hear much about him today, but I guess he did okay. But yeah, secondary really wasn't that bad, other than Bobby McCain. Bobby McCain, he reeks. He's terrible. F.A. Obata, he's got to be more disciplined too. We need to discipline these guys. He really helped the Titans out on that on their drives for where they could move, so they could, he helped set up that touchdown also with the penalty. He had 3 tackles for 3 total tackles, and he had 2 solo tackles, and he had a sack. Other than the penalties though, he was pretty okay. Deron Payne, he had a half a sack. Him and Jonathan Allen was getting pressure like crazy. Cameron Curl had a good game. 2 total tackles, 2 solo tackles, and yeah, he was pretty solid. Jonathan Allen was solid. Casey Toohill, he had gotten held, like in the first couple snaps, and yeah, those guys really got pressure. Like that defensive line was eating in the first half. I don't really know where they went in the second half, but it's whatever. Defense did enough to win that football game, so I'm not even gonna blame them. But yeah, we got to get more turnovers on defense. And yeah, everything else is cool. Also, the Titans, they cooked us. Well, when I mean cook us, it was basically Derrick Henry. He had 28 carries for 102 yards. And that, it's obviously not easy to, maintain Derrick Henry. But, we were just getting he was just punching it up the middle. He was cooking. But yeah, now it's time to get to my thoughts. Ron Rivera has to go. He needs to be fired. There's no reason why he's here after this season. Him and Scott Turner have to go. And Jack Del Rio, too. I don't care if Jack Del Rio's defense is playing good now. He got to go, too. Just clean house. Because, you see what the Giants have built. They won. They are now 4-1. And this is the ball's first year. He is 4-1 in his first year with no wide receivers, a quarterback who's on a prove-it year. Also, yeah, he has no receivers. Defense, they're still rebuilding that defense. Their O-line, they built the O-line. They have already been set up. They're already better than us. This is crazy. This basically just proves that, coaching matters. And, the ball, already is 4-1 in his first season, while Ron Rivera is still looking to even have a good start. He still has yet to have a season where he's started off good. This is absolutely abysmal. It's abysmal. And then Scott Turner is it's like it's a fifth grader out there calling the plays. There has to be. It has to be. I don't know what that was. Um, I'm just gonna blame. Carson Wentz was part of the reason why we lost too, but he was solid. He threw. I didn't understand why he threw into double coverage when we still probably had another play left. We could have been fourth and goal, and then that's when you probably do something like that. But I wanted to see him try to at least run it in for the touchdown. I feel like he could have done that if he actually tried, but you know it was a heartbreaking loss. Diami Brown went off. Really, that was the only thing positive on offense. Uh, Diami Brown, he looked good out there. We need help on offense. Going 0 for 8, that's unacceptable. That is unacceptable. And then I want to pull up a tweet where Ron Rivera said that maybe for us it's panic time, but for him it's not panic time, which is crazy. Because why are you saying that when your team is 1-4? He has a like, what is going on? He has a lack of no urgency. Like, what is wrong with him? What is wrong with him? I honestly don't understand what's wrong with him. But Ron Rivera has to go after this. Uh, he showed that he doesn't care. He's over there with his arms folded, and he looks like he doesn't care. His time management is bad, and I think he cost us this win. We could have won. This was a winnable game, and I wouldn't even be surprised if the Chicago Bears beat us. But that was my thoughts on the game. Terrible clock management, terrible play calling. I would do better play calling. I would be a better coach than these guys. These guys are bums. These guys are freaking bums. This is crazy, but all right, hell to the Commanders. Peace.